Jim Ratcliffe is now in sport control of Manchester United, and he's made it clear in many interviews he wants to knock Liverpool and Manchester City off their perch and bring Manchester United back to the top. But unfortunately, Manchester United is still very, very far off those at the top. There's lots to do, and it won't just be done in 1 year. It's going to take 2-3 years. So in today's video, we're going to break down Jim Ratcliffe's big fan to fix Man United, starting with the restructuring, starting with some changes that are happening in the environment. Then we're going to talk about the recruitment, the players coming in, the players coming out. What do we know so far about Ratcliffe's plan to bring United back to the top? So let's talk about football success over financial success. Ratcliffe did a very good interview when it was announced, talking about how it's about footballing success over financial success, and almost took some digs at the Glazers for not running the club properly, which was a good positive sign. Of course, actions speak louder than the words, and there's going to be reasons to be cautious. But it looks like from what's come out of his mouth, he's got the right plans and ideas. His goal is for those at the top to now be people that's focus is to employ footballing success. The Glazers did not implement a vision. They didn't have a plan. They didn't communicate with Arnold and Murta. He's brought in Blanc. He's brought in Brailsford. As you can see, Blanc, lots of experience at PSG. Brailsford, one of the best businessmen, two of the smartest people out there, and they'll be communicating with Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, who'll be in the roles of Richard Arnold and John Murta. There was an article that highlighted the lack of communication with the Glazers and those at the top of United, Murta Arnold, and how that was poor, and Murta and Arnold didn't really know what the end goal was, what the vision was, what the Glazers were trying to achieve, whereas Brailsford has been here assessing everything at United, trying to come up with a vision, a plan to communicate to those below, so United can follow something. And if those at the top are organised, maybe the players will be more organised. It follows down. The communication has been much, much more improved since Ineos have come in, between Ineos, Ten Hag staff, players, those at the club, and Ineos have put a 2-year ban on dividends being taken out, so the Glazers for the next 2 years cannot use Manchester United to make money. The Ineos have said they want to hire the best in class. They've gone and got Dan Ashworth, although he's not got in the league. We don't know when he'll come. Owen Barada from the City Group will be coming in July, and Jason Wilcox is expected to be a done deal. Over £200 million in cash has been ejected by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, which will go into stadium plans, improving facilities, helping clear the debt, and FFP, solving some situations there. And it said that, not FFP, transfers, sorry, brain fart there. It was also said that Ineos make a lot more money than United. Ineos' annual revenue turnover is like 10-20 times more than United. So we know that Ratcliffe isn't going to use Man United to make money, because he can use Ineos to make money and take dividends out. And Ineos now have sporting control of United. And one thing we know about Ineos is their priority is to change the environment. When Ratcliffe was asked about Ten Hag, he said nobody's been successful in that Man United environment. So for me, there's something wrong with the environment. That is the focus they want to change. So that is why they're bringing in the likes of Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, Jason Wilcox. Omar Barada, great with the financial side of Manchester City, stops Manchester City overspending on players, helps with recruitment. Dan Ashworth puts structures in place which implements the club of years to come, did brilliant things at West Brom. As a result of that, they had back-to-back mid-table finishes, 10th and 11th, with the second lowest wage bill in the league. His recruitment, he picked out some top quality players for West Brom, but also put structures in place so West Brom could operate more sustainably after he left. He then went to Brighton and did great jobs, as we've seen Brighton develop, up and coming, worked with sort of scouting, putting scouting departments in place, but Brighton scouting's been good, put everything in place to have, Graham Potter was the head coach, so when he left, it was easy for De Zerbi to come in. He changed the culture at England, he's changed the culture at Newcastle, signed some good players at Newcastle, and of course, Jason Wilcox, who's credited with developing the likes of Carl Palmer, of course, the likes of Phil Foden, but he also did good scouting for the City Academy and good development. And with Manchester United's under-18s being the best it is, it's good to have best-in-class people who all have a focus on academies. But these guys will be working heavily on transfers, and transfers is where Manchester United have got things very, very wrong lately. Manchester United actually spent basically the most money in the transfer window, bar Man City and Chelsea, but they're just way off. Man United have had 16 signings under Ten Hag, six of which have only been under 30 or not loans. Sorry, better to explain that. 10 of the 16 signings under Ten Hag have been loans or players over 30, which are not long-term plans, so we need to adapt that. And 3 of the long-term signings have been injured all season. You've got to look at other elements of bringing in players aged 20 to 25 that can be developed into superstars. You look at Klopp's rebuild. You look at when Robertson came in from Hull, Mane came in, Salah came in, Alisson came in, Konate, some of Liverpool's best players, but not these big names. They were young to 25 that were good and, you know, suit the modern game and suit the philosophy of the club, and then were developed into superstars. Ineos want to do that. They also want to find the best talents 15 to 19 and maybe loan them to the Nice and the Son, or Nice and the Son sign them with the goal of bringing them up to United like Buffon. I have done a video on that, and I will do a further video explaining this whole plan with the really young South American talents we've been linked to all over the last week. Barad is going to try and improve negotiations to stop us overpaying. Ashworth's going to help with data and scouting and bringing people in, so we've got better recruitment and a scouting and data plan. And it should be the end of Manchester United signing over 30 wash players, big name players with big attitudes and big wages, because sorting out the wage was a priority, because they might be letting Varane leave on a free, which brings us into the massive clear out that could be happening. Nobody is safe. Evans, Amrabat, Martial, Williams, Varane and Heaton all could be leaving on a free. Casemiro expected to go to Saudi, Ericsson expected to go, McTominay could be sold because of FFP, would be one of the few players that would bring in decent money. Lindelof's expected to leave due to lack of minutes. Malacia could potentially go, but I think he'll stay. Maguire could potentially go, but I think he'll stay because of high wages. And Wan-Bissaka, Man United are willing to listen to offers for. So if they get offers for Wan-Bissaka, I think they would sell. Anthony, if they get offers for, I think they would sell, but I don't know if we'll get offers for Anthony. Jadon Sancho was basically out of the door, even if Ten Hag stays. Donny van der Beek out of the door. Mason Greenwood looks to be out of the door. Hannibal Mejbri is one that could be out the door as well, depending on offers, and Alvaro Fernandez, none of which is safe. I feel like I've missed somebody's name out there, but none of them are safe. And the same likes of Shaw and Rashford, if they don't pick up form or injury problems continue, they could be at risk the following season. And the most important thing that Man United can do this summer is get their incomings right. It's been a poor season. They're a long way off. And yes, there's been some issues with Ten Hag. And yes, tactically, Ten Hag's getting elements wrong. But I feel sorry for Ten Hag, because I think he doesn't have the personnel to succeed and play the way he wants. So Ineos need to get that right. And even if Ten Hag isn't manager next season, Ineos have this way that they want to play, and they're going to have a head coach. It's not going to be manager next season, it's going to be head coach, because Ineos are going to do the recruitment and other sides of management. Who would that head coach be? If it's not Ten Hag, it could be someone else. But they've got to sign players to play a certain way, and if Ten Hag is here to sort of build upon what we're doing. Branthwaite, Elise, some of the highest linked players. Who are those that have been heavily linked? Elise, Branthwaite, Tolibo, John Evans and Amadou Onana, the type that Ornstein and Romano have confirmed. They are targets. They are targets. They are players that United are interested in. Reportedly, United have had sort of a verbal agreement with Elise. That was a rumour that Elise communicated he would pick Manchester United. Crystal Palace have admitted they're open to selling Elise for about 50 million fee, which is the right price. Elise is a Manchester United fan. He would pick Manchester United over rivals, and apparently Manchester United have had a contract with Crystal Palace and Elise's entourage and had a few discussions about this deal, but obviously they've dropped off a little bit because of the injury, but now he's back. Come transfer window, they could be going for Elise. Another one that Man United have been looking at is Branthwaite, but it could depend on the price. They're waiting to see what Everton price him at, because there's going to be a lot of competition. He could be pricey, especially because he's English, but he's a talented centre-back that United definitely like and are interested in signing. Todibo is another option, someone we almost signed last summer, and because of Nice being owned by Ineos as well, the connection there, him not being allowed to leave in January, I wouldn't be surprised if Todibo was in a Man United shirt next season. João Neves is a player of interest that Manchester United definitely like, but I think due to the price tag it won't happen. And Amadou Onana is a player that Man United definitely like, but again, there's a lot of competition for that. Same with Branthwaite, it depends on the price. Elise and Todibo looking the most likely. Antonio Silva and Nassia, other players they've looked at. Tapsover is other players they've looked at. Hulman could be a midfield option. Fofana could be a midfield option, rumoured to be 25 million. Xerxes and Sesko, two great young strikers, the kind of players I'd like to see. Andrea Fluminense, João Gomez, as we spoke about in my live stream the other day, Neto Bakayoko and Nico Williams, but with two eyes because I forgot to proofread it, are all players that United have shown some kind of interest in. Now, in my opinion, this is what Manchester United need to do. And reportedly, Ineos do think they need another fullback for depth. They do think they need two centre-backs. They've only been linked to one midfielder, but I think we need two, a right wing and a striker. In an ideal world, bringing in a young player that can play either side of fullback, bringing in Branthwaite, bringing in Todibo, bringing in, I don't know, Onana or Weaver, bringing in someone like Andre or João Gomez, bringing in Elise, bringing in Sesko, bringing in Xerxes, bringing in a lot of the players that we've listed would be brilliant. And if you want to see a video, which I'm planning on doing, which is 5 players Man United should sign in the summer, I'm going to wait until maybe May, just as the season's ending, to release that. Do subscribe to the channel. I do news, live streams every single day, and then I do kind of factual videos like this. I do a mixture of videos where I try and get every bit of information I can in 10 minutes, so it's just informing and factual for you guys, and then I try and do longer live streams where I chat with you guys and we talk about the news in more detail. We'll react to games and stuff. Thank you for watching. Please do that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. See you next time.